Okay guys, Vinny's over here gonna mix his grout up. He's just gonna mix it in a plastic bucket. That's sanded grout, bone color. He's just gonna mix more than enough and throw away the rest. I'll put that in my garage. I'll wrap it up and put that in my garage for later. If you seal it up with duct tape really good and put it in a bag, it'll last a long time. Anyway, let him get this mix. He's gonna go with more of a solid mix rather than, because he doesn't have a lot to do. If you got more to do, then you mix it a little bit more. I'm not going to say soupier, but just a little bit more softer. Where if you only got a couple tiles like he's got, he can mix it a little bit thicker and not have to worry about it hardening up in the tub. So that's what he's going to do.
That's enough.
I would overkill it. That way you only have to mix once and just throw the rest in the crapper. You know what I mean?
Customer bought it. I'll use the whole bag.
Just pour the whole fucking thing on the floor, right? All right, bud. I think you probably, I don't know. I would give it a couple more. That way you don't have to waste time coming back down and cleaning it. And, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'd rather throw a little away than, That should be good, buddy. See you inside. All right, guys. He's mixing this shit up. Whoops. That's looking pretty dry. A little bit more. But he knows. He did his whole house. So I'll let him just do his thing. Most thing, guys, is to get... Guys, is the best thing you can do, guys, is make sure you get that stuff like whipped cream. You want it like so whippy, so creamy, because if you don't, you leave little rocks and pebbles. That'll go into the grout line, but sometimes it won't sink to the bottom, and you leave these little, then later on, you're mopping, and you'll see these little air holes or little blisters pop up. So you want to get it really creamy, and when you're using it, if you only got a little bit to use it from the center, because the shit on the side gets rocky and crusty. So just once it's all whipped up and it's perfect, then take your material from the center and work outward. And then if every once in a while you can give it a real good whip up. But and then of course if you screw with it too much, then it starts to dry on you. Okay guys, that's about where he wants it. That looks really good, consistent. That looks really good, Vinny. We don't have a grout float, guys, so we're going to use a stucco float. And we'll go from there. That looks good, Vinny. Alright guys, he's going to get after it. We'll see how he does here.
Just a sponge?
You could,
Let me go get a bucket.
yeah. Go get a bucket of water for your sponge,
yeah.
or better yet, use my toilet because I can flush it. It's clean. I just scrubbed it. You can work from this end over and just wring out and flush. Wring out. It's the easiest thing to do. I wouldn't do it on anybody else's job, but man, your mom just cleaned that thing sparkling white, man, bleached it and everything.
You get that recording?
Yeah,
it's glowing.
Yeah, it's glowing. I mean, we use that Clorox shit and everything. You don't need to worry. Dive deep into it. You could drink out of that thing.
Oh, what is that? Mom's ass hair?
Will you stop? That ain't nice. Look at you. That thing's like barbed wire.
Yeah,
that probably came out of your nose. Alright. Anyway, wet that in the toilet. You can flush the toilet. Give it one good flush just in case. And then just wring out there. That's the easiest place. You'll get a clean sponge. Every time, just flush that shit down. I'm sorry, guys. Flush that stuff down. I'm trying to watch my language because I have some subscribers, and I don't want to be disrespectful, just blowing off at the mouth. It's funny. People in the contracting trade, we're really loose with our language, and that's no excuse just because we're in this trade. But it does get the best of you, and I don't want to be offending anybody, So I'm going to try to watch that. Both me and Vinny are, that way we're courteous to our subscribers that, don't want to hear that stuff. So we're going to really try. Well, guys, did you want to vacuum out the grout line first?
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to let him grout this out, and then we'll talk a little shop. I was telling Vinny this morning when I got up, Alicia and the girls left at about 5:30 in the morning for a cheer competition. As you probably know, she's a cheer mom. Deep into it. Two things she's into: politics and cheer. And she's a very conservative person, I might say. Leans really hard to the right. I don't want to go into that on this channel, but those are the two things that she's really into. I try to stay far away from it. I just do what she says. And but for some reason, I woke up this morning and I had 6 different work orders from different people. And what I'm saying is, I'm not relating that to anything. I'm just letting you guys know that I'm going to be getting probably some good videos. Because one of them is termite damage up on a roof and on railing. The other one is a bathroom exhaust fan. The lady's whole bathroom is full of mold from what I could see. And she's requesting a exhaust fan. And it's not going to be an easy one because there's a unit above it. And another one came in for some plumbing at an apartment building, a new customer. She got her name out of the ad. And a few others that are minor. But with that being said, I'm just saying we've got some videos probably coming. And I'm taking it all because Vinny has years ago. I was, like I told you guys 100 times, I was going to retire in a couple of years. And then Vinny wanted to get his license and so on and so on. He worked 6 years for the union as a union commercial electrician, and he went to school for 5 years to get his master's. But residential is a whole different ballgame. And yes, guys, we only grout tile once every 3 or 4 or 5 years, and it's just repairs. We don't do the whole thing. So anyway, he wants to get that shoved in that crack. I don't care, as long as it looks nice when he's done. And he gets that stuff all the way down. So with that being said, I want to take on all that work because, like I told him, yeah, you may have electrical license, but I have a general, which allows me to dive into, in the state of California, it lets me dive into anything. But there is a thing called protect the trades. Basically, if I have one or more trades, if I have 2 or more trades, it's mine. Whether it's plumbing, whether it's electrical, it's mine. But if there's only one trade at a job and it's over 500 or over $499, it's supposed to be $499. That's Vinny's baby. Then if it's over $499.99, which is 500, then I'm supposed to call a electrician and pass it down to him. But he'll be taking over my B license because he is a license holder. And he's working for me now. And after 4 years of working with me, I can sign his paper to transfer or put him on my license as well. That way when I die or retire, I can pass it straight to him. So he'll have a B license and he'll have his C10 license. So I want him to learn. Where I'm going with this is I want him to learn all these different trades. So we're going to take every one of them that comes in the way I used to do when I was young. Alicia and I used to take everything. And I used to have a couple guys working for me. You remember Eric, Vinny?
Yeah.
And his brother and his father. I used to have 3 guys all the time. And there was payroll, there was workman's comp, and then finally when I decided to semi-retire, he was ready to go out on his own anyway. The father and the brother and the other brother, the crew of 3. So that was good, and I gave him some referrals. I signed his waiver to take the test, as a general contractor. He failed it twice, and then I wouldn't sign it on the third time. I felt like he was abusing me in a way, because I signed 2 times for him to take that contractor's license, saying that I've seen him do his trade and he's capable and this and that. So with that being said, the third time I asked him, I said, "What are you doing, Eric? I mean, are you studying?" He goes, "No, why? I only study the law. I don't study the trade. I know the trades." I said, "Well, that's where you're going wrong." Because I thought I knew the trades. Although I passed on the first time. In fact, then he went out to dinner. We all went out to dinner. He was just a kid. And we all went to dinner. It was like I passed with a 90-something. At the time, they don't tell you now. Did they tell you what you passed at, Vinny? When you took the...
No, just when you...
Okay, well, back in my day, they used to put a score. And I was like 96. And I didn't have to take just one trade. I had to take all the trades. My books were like 6-7 inches stacked, where his was just for electrical like that. And, I had to take plumbing, electrical, carpentry, masonry. There's a few more. Block walls and a few other things, footings. Anyway, I had to take it all, and I studied hard. Be honest with you, I canceled my first test because I didn't feel I was ready. And Alicia used to help me study. I made my own cassette tapes. Back then it was cassette. And everywhere I went on the job, at work, I played those cassettes. And then at night, we'd go to dinner or we'd cook, and Alicia would test me. I had my own test book because I didn't want to test out of the books that you buy. It was better to ask the harder questions because a lot of them I knew. And so I only made test sheets up for the stuff I didn't know. And then finally, I took the test, and I passed the law, and I passed the trades. And so with that being said, I really studied my ass off, and I felt like Eric was just, it doesn't look good me signing. I've had my license 30-some years old. If you look me up, there's no complaints, no nothing on my license. And I'm proud of that. And then all of a sudden, I'm over here having to sign this guy's license to take the test 2 or 3 times. That was a no good. He got upset with me, never talked to me again. But that's on him. So anyway, with that being said, I'm going to start taking everything. That way, Vinny can learn it all. And one day he won't be slinging grout like this. One day he'll be slinging grout like a professional. I don't care. You watch, guys. All I care about is he packs it in tight, which he's doing. He has enough time to wipe it off. He doesn't dig it out with a wet sponge if the sponge is too wet, And that's all I care about. And if he does, guess what? We'll get that little saw, clean it out, and do it again until he's got it. The trick is, guys, get that sponge dry. You don't want that sponge to dilute what you're putting in, and then it kind of settles down. See how he's got his sponge really dry, and he's going one direction. And then he can change his sponge around and go again the same thing over. And wherever he's screwing it up, he's just filling it back up. And let that dry a little bit. And you always want to let the grout set up a little bit. That way you don't take it out with the sponge. You let it set up a little bit. That's why I had you mix it dry. That way you wouldn't have to wait as long. You know what I mean? That's good. And this stuff you can just let set there on the tile. You don't even need to worry about it. Just let it set there. It'll harden up and you just scrape it off with a... That way you're not focusing. Yeah, clean the sides up. There you go. And just rinse that out in the toilet and you'll be good to go. Yeah. And then after you get that, then you can start cleaning up the insides of the tile. But it's looking good. Just the way you did at your house. I told Vinny when he's all done with these 2 tiles next week sometime, if he could just mix up some of that and put it in the broken spots right here. Just wet that and he'll go around and check everything. But that's looking really good. Oh yeah, look at that. It's good enough for me, man. I'd pay for that. Okay guys, he's going over my whole floor wherever it's been chipping out. And he's letting this dry a little bit and then he'll go over it. These dark spots right here, are just where the new meets the old. Once she mops this, basically she's going to seal the grout, but not yet. What she's going to do is let it dry a couple days, and then she's going to mop the floor, the whole floor, to get it to turn a darker color, like maybe here. And because I'm not going to ask her to bleach out the grout lines and bring it all back. You know what I mean? She does a lot around here. She works with us. She takes care of the house, takes care of the kids, takes care of this big ass baby. Anyway, so the best thing to do is all these new lines that you can see. If you can wipe this one out a little bit more, Vinny, right here. That's not the repair area, but anyway, wipe that out a little bit. She'll mop it 1 or 2 times and get it to go to that color, or close to it, and then I might seal the grout and make it, because when you seal it, it turns it a little bit darker. Just right here, this tile right here.
Oh yeah.
I think it's right there. See, it's a little bit higher right there. Anyway, just go around all the 4 corners of each repair, Vinny, and try to blend the edges out a little bit. But everything's looking good, guys. Filled all those in over there. So this stuff, I don't know if it's still good. Yeah, look, guys, it's still good. It's a lot of time to work with it. That's good. And we mixed it kind of dry. Right here, see that lip?
Come down here.
Okay, you know my knees hurt, right?
Yeah.
Right here. Blend that in a little bit.
It's just the color.
Okay, just run it. There you go. That's good enough for me.
All right.
Over here, if you could, just right here, you can feel the bump right here. Feel that bump? There you go. Just blend that shit in a little bit. Blend that stuff in a little bit. Eh?
Oh, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying?
The residual.
Yeah, the residual. That's it. There you go. Just get after that. Go ahead and go over your 2 repairs one more time.
That's a good grout. That's
Yes. Go over it.
This is only
right.
grout. Gotcha.
Right. So just go over it all again until it's perfect. And then you'll be able to make $1 at this every so often. Hey guys, I do have a trick, because I had a customer one time that did not like the white lines that were her original color compared to here. So what we did was we took a little bit of mortar for tile, and it's gray, and Alicia just wiped it in with her finger, and it ended up turning the tile that color right there. If it wasn't, I'd have to go find it and dig it out and then rub it in, but I just don't know if I even have any right now. I'll tell you what I use it for. You know how I use this stuff called Loctite? It's white, it looks like caulking, but I use it to glue bricks back, because if you use mortar to glue a brick back and somebody kicks it, it's going to pop again. But if you use Loctite, it never happens. So what I do is I use Loctite in the center of the loose brick and set it down, and then I fill it with mortar around it. Or let's just say I put too much and the white Loctite squeezes out, then I use my finger to make the grout line perfect. And then after about maybe 5 minutes, I take the mortar and I blot it on, and it impregnates into the white Loctite and turns it gray every single time. In fact, I think I have a video of fixing a brick where we did that.
Yeah. I was in...
Turned out perfect, didn't it?
Yeah, I was in Huntington Beach. I remember that one.
Yeah. So anyway, if we got some gray mortar, we could probably rub it into that and make it look the same. But Alicia says that she'll just mop it a few times, and it'll all, as long as we don't seal it. If we seal it, it'll never turn color. That sealer will be there for 2 or 3 years, and it'll always look white compared to the dirty. She offered, she bought some shit, and I think I took it back because I just didn't want her slaving over some grout lines, because before we started patching it, I was happy with these gray lines right here. I don't mind them. I'm easy to please, so I think a few mop jobs, it'll be okay. I'm just gonna... Well, that's turned out good. Your repair turned out excellent, Vinny. Really good job. The best way, guys, to get the film off, if you're not doing a whole floor, and you're just doing a few repairs, is take paper towels, fold them up, put a wet side, wipe the film off, put the paper towel on the dry side, wipe it again, and throw that piece away, and you'll get the film. He's going to do that as soon as he's done. I brought the paper towels. Did I bring you the paper towels? Okay. He's going to do that just to give it a good, clean look. If I can find that gray, I think I know where it is. I might go get it, Vinny, because now's the time to put it on. And we'll see if we can turn those lines gray, guys. I'll go look for it. Hey guys, I'm letting him practice. Here's that mortar I was telling you about. And he's wiping it in to the white stuff to make it match this stuff. Here's kind of what we want to match right here, Vinny. See this 4-way highway right here? Look, see that right here? Yeah, see this, Vinny?
Yeah.
This is what we want to match.
Okay.
See if you can do that, and it'll blend that white stuff right in. And it'll always, the way we do it, the way I do it, guys, is I take my finger with water, I wet the newly grout, not wet it, but I just use a sponge and kind of dampen the grout, then rub that in and then rub it out. And if it's a little bit darker than the other, don't worry about it, because once you mop it, it's going to lighten up a little bit, but it'll keep the lines going just like that. All these lines are dark. You can kind of make it look like that. I call that the tarnish look. Like somebody's complaining, well, look, this is all dark. Well, you got two choices. You can buy some grout bleach, and you can get on one end of the room and start bleaching the grout and getting it back to your repaired area. But I always tell people they don't want to pay me to do that, because by the time I'm done at the end of the day, they're going to have a big bill. So if they want to do it, that's fine. Or you can hire somebody. There are grout cleaning guys that'll come to your house and they steam it and they put a little bleach in it, wipe it up, and they make it look like brand new. But like over there, look what he did here. He fixed my grout. Look at that, man. You fixed my grout perfectly there, but it looks different. He can kind of blend that grout in with this, and it'll look better. It won't look perfect, but it'll look better than the white lines. So I'm going to let him screw with that for a little bit, and we'll see what he does. Okay, guys, look at that. He's getting it to match. He rubs a little of that shit in there, and now it all matches. Look at that. I like it better when it blends like that. And then, of course, Alicia will mop this floor, and that'll all even out. But that, to me, looks better matching this than having some spots like that don't match. So that really does good. He's learning how to shade it in darker or lighter, and it won't come out because it's mortar. It's going to impregnate into what's already there and kind of stain it. You know, if anything, it might come lighter and it'll spread over the other grout lines, and it'll all even out. You know, after Alicia mops it in a couple days, we'll see how it looks. Milo, he's coming to check it out. You want some of that?
Yeah, he's gonna seal the grout.
No, he's just smelling it. Yeah, you're a good boy. You're a good man, aren't you? You're a good boy. All right. Now, I know somebody would probably say, well, hey, you can buy the grout that color, or get the grout this color and use that instead of the original bone color. And you're right, you could. But what I like about running mortar into it is, instead of a darker color grout, is that I can control the color of the gray. If it looks too dark, he can just sponge it out a little bit. And then the other thing is, if I used grout, whatever color I thought these darker spots were, what'll happen is when I mop the floor, that'll just get darker than the other stuff. Whereas if I use mortar, every time we mop that mortar is going to blend with the other grout lines. You know, it's just going to blend better, and it'll eventually get light. Maybe like this right here, maybe. This will definitely lighten up. We'll see how it looks in a couple hours, but I'm very proud of him. He did a good job. He can make $1 doing this. Right, because if somebody's tiles pops, and rather than doing a whole new floor, he can do a great repair like that. The only thing I would do different is I like using mastic because I got the drying time. I have time available. But if this was on a job, I'd use Speedy Patch where it dries in 30 minutes. That way you can grout it right away. And but since I could have the time to let it dry, I like using mastic because it's flexible. Okay, guys, it's looking better. It's dry and even. That is just simply a little bit darker than that or over there. But a couple mop jobs and it'll be all, because look in here. That's all dark over there. Look how dark that is. It's dark and light, dark and light. Dark over there. Same here. Same over here. It's all dark and light in different areas. Can't even tell that there was a repair done there almost. I have to tell you, I went to get my acetylene tank. Vinny had it filled. They screwed up the threads on it. And not only did they screw up the threads, but they locked the valve stem down so tight that I couldn't even open it. It stripped out my little wrench that I use. So Vinny's over there running it back to exchange it. So anyway, when he gets back, we got a few other things to do. I'll show you in a minute. Hey guys, years ago, my dad was pulling this out of his garage. It's for a paper towel. It has this thing that threads on, and the piece broke out of here. Anyway, he was taking it off. When he gave it to me, it was working. It was a good functional paper holder. And I told him, no, it's okay, Dad. He goes, take it and put it in your garage like I have it in my garage. He was just upgrading to something better that he liked. I said, no, I'll just get my own. We can just, toss it. He goes, toss it? He goes, what, you so rich now that you can just throw things like this away? At my age, when I was your age, none of that went into the trash can. I found use for it. And he goes, maybe when you're my age, then you can toss something like that if you can afford to and put something new or update it, And he goes, go, take that home. So I took it home, and I was going to put it in my garage. And then Alicia decided to put it in here. And everything worked good. And back then it didn't mean much to me, but, now it means a lot to me, even if, even if I wasn't even to use it, there's something behind it. So I thought I'd take some solder and solder that nut, which fits this stud right here. This nut fits. The screw would just be to hold it in. I'm going to polish it up really good, and then put that screw just to center it, and maybe solder it with a couple tacks. That's what I needed my acetylene for, because I can get a nice little flame with it. And even if it burns this stuff up, I don't care. I was just going to sand it and paint it the same color as the wall right here. So I have some of this paint. I don't know what I was going to do, but I was just going to try to fix it. If not, it'll be in the trash can. I was thinking about just running a tap in it right here, but the metal is so thin with the kids changing it, they'll just rip that right out. So I think I'm better off with this little nut soldered on somehow. I tried gluing it once already, and the glue broke. So I'm going to try a couple tacks with either some solder or some aluminum. I have some stuff it's aluminum, but it's made for all metals, and you don't need flux or anything. You just heat it up and tap a little bit on each side, and it's done deal. Anyway, I thought I would do that, so I went in to get that acetylene and went to turn it on, and the stem is just locked shut, and the threads for it are bad. I was able to correct the threads. I was able to take a hacksaw and clean the threads up on the tank. I think when they went to fill it or something, and the valve was so tight that it stripped out my little wrench over here trying to open it. And it shouldn't be that way. Here's my little wrench, I think, right here. Stripped out both ends. I don't care. I've got 2 or 3 of them. But the fact of the matter is that tank shouldn't be functional like that. I mean, maybe open it up and it won't close up. It's acetylene. It's dangerous, So Vinny ran it over real quick because, I got to have it in case I'm on a job or something. Sometimes, I have the little tanks, but I don't do so well with the little tanks because they spit when I flip them upside down and stuff. I'd rather have that. And I gave Vinny my good turbo, which I only had 1 or 2 tips for it. This is just a cheap Amazon knockoff, but it works really good. Anyway, that's where Vinny is. And then we were going to try to fix that. And then we were going to have a little project going with this. I'll show you what that is later. Okay, guys, I'm just going to clean this out. I don't know if I'm going to end up destroying this. I already tried gluing it. It didn't work. So and I got some all-weld rod. It's basically just a aluminum rod alloy that mixes with anything. Doesn't need flux or anything. I thought I'd try that because I don't want to disintegrate this thing. But if I do, I'll just buy me a a plastic ball on Amazon and tap it. You know, drill it and tap it. But let's just see here. That looks good. I don't want to burn up all this shit. I'll get a 2x4 maybe. Maybe I'll go over there and do it. Let's see here, guys.
I'll go get a 2x4.
No, let's see. I may do it over here somewhere. Set it like this, guys. Let's see. Maybe something like that. Maybe hit it on one side there, and then I'll flip it on the other side.
Use the long one. It's more weight.
I was just going to hit one side real quick.
Okay.
And then hit the other. Let me get what I want here. I wanted to try some of this other shit too. I wanted to try some of this right out of it. Just get rid of it. And I wanted to try some of this right here. Let's see. I want to try it. This is the all shit that I told you guys about. And this is just silver solder, silver rod, and then you got your bronze right here. I just wanted to see if I could do something with that thing. So we'll find out in a minute. See what we can do. There we go. So our tank is at, just so you know, Vinny, we'll see how much we use here. PSI, we're at 200 PSI. Okay. I just want to see. That's all you need. You don't need to have it at. Now, I like to run this regulator at about 14, not at 15. I like to go about 14 on the regulator. So right at 14, that's why you usually run it out. They don't move around? Hey. Okay. I wonder which burns hotter. Let's try this silver one. This one, burns that one burns this one here burns better, but
You want something to indent it? I have something for you.
That up. Clean that thread up. You don't think so? What?
You just fucking drilled all your threads out.
Well, I intended on that.
Oh, okay.
I was going to do that just to run a tap in it. I was going to ask you for a tap.
What the fuck? Alright. I'll go grab you.
Well, let me go run that and see if I can make my threads. Watch. Leave all that here.
Alright.
Okay, I can throw this thing away anytime.
Watch your tank.
Okay. Okay, I'm watching. What?
Watch me move it.
Oh, okay. Let's try this. Watch her.
Alright, Dad, I'll watch her. Just leave the top like that. It looks beautiful.
How's that? Let's leave that for a while. Oh.
Top.
I'm gonna let that dry a little bit.
Okay.
That way it don't run. I'm just getting the bottom. And maybe just a little bit on the top. Okay, let's let that set. I can't believe we're fucking away our Saturday with this shit. You just rip it off the fucking wall and...
Put a new one?
Well, because it was handed down to my dad. It came out of his garage, so that's the only reason why I'm fixing it. He'd be saying, what, you can't fix it? You're so damn rich, or you got so much money, you can't... You know what I mean? But yeah, when he got something, well, I'm 60-some years old, I deserve it now.
You are too!
Yeah,
that's what I was...
Alright, let's let that dry.
Alright.
Alright guys, got this ball done and it's soldered on. I got it on a piece of Allen wrench holding it. It's all threaded. It's ready to go on. I just can't touch it because of the paint. Alright guys, that does it for the tile. As far as I'm concerned, everything looks good. So, everything matches really good. Plus, you do one little mopping job. The cats love to get their paws and just, they'll take that whole roll out if I don't shut the door. And over here you can see dark spots, light spots in the grout. She'll scrub it. It'll all come out nice. A little dark right here, but we'll see. Same color as the wall almost. I'm not going to anchor it down yet because the paint is still is touchable, but there we go. That's it. I don't want to squeeze it and put fingerprints in it, but that's it right there. Alright guys, job done on that. So, I know this is all stupid little shit, but it is what it is. Alright. I think that's going to be it, guys. I think I'll post this video, and next week we should be getting some good jobs coming in. So, alright, talk to you guys later.